Call to order our regular public meeting of the Lawrence County Board of, thank you, Eric, of the Lawrence County Board of Commissioners. Today is Tuesday, July 7 of 2026. A few housekeeping items. We are live streaming the meeting and it's also being recorded. We would ask that if you have any kind of an electronic communication device, if you please put it on vibrate or silent. We appreciate that courtesy. We always begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. We also ask at the end of the pledge, if you remain standing, we'll have a moment of silence. There's one person we hope you'll keep his family in mind. And Brian, you might be able to help me on this just to confirm, or maybe Debbie. I saw the obituary for Gerald Senchak from Taylor Township, and I believe he was a township supervisor at one time. Is that your recollection? Okay. So if we could keep Mr. Senchak's family in our thoughts. So if you'll please rise, and Commissioner Sonata, could you lead us in the pledge? Sure.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. We'll have a moment of silence. Thank you, everyone. We have the roll call, please.
Commissioner Sonata?
Here.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here. We have a quorum. Takes us down. Did everybody get a copy of the agenda? I believe they're available if you all need one. Explanation of procedures to the audience. We, at our meetings, we have two opportunities for public comment. One of just a few moments from now, and then we open it back up before we adjourn. If you'd like to make a public comment, you're welcome to speak both times. If you just want to speak one of the two times, that's fine. Or if you're just here to listen, that's also fine. You're not obligated to speak, but you're welcome to. We ask if you do have comments, if you could try to limit it to about 5 minutes or so. We don't have a stopwatch up here, but we do ask for, out of respect for people's schedule. And we ask that your comments be related to county government matters. If you have a federal concern or a state concern, we recommend you talk to your federal or state legislators. If it's a local municipal concern, we suggest you talk to your city, borough, or township officials. But if it's a county-related matter, you're at the right place. So we'll get to that very shortly. We always set aside time for any of our elected row officers. They're not obligated to attend these meetings, but they're always welcome to them. Sometimes they have matters of business. But today we don't have any agenda items that pertain directly to our elected row officers, so none of them happen to be here. That takes us to public comment. If anybody wishes to comment, you can do one of two things. You're either welcome to comment from where you're sitting, or if you'd like to come up and have a seat. Either way, we're very flexible. And if you do have a comment, if you could state your name for the record, we'd appreciate that as well. So I'll open it up if anybody wishes to speak at this time. Yes, sir.
Yes, hi.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Commissioners, Mr. Vanasco. I'm going to hand this to Mr. Sinato because I've already provided a copy to you, Commissioner, and you, Commissioner.
Incidentally, if that's the email you sent us, we did forward it.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much.
Sure.
Never mind. I'm just being fair. You're with Mr. Vanasco, then he doesn't have those documents.
Sure. Mr. Maresca, you're welcome to sit if you're more comfortable.
Appreciate it.
Certainly.
Good morning. My name is Devin Ryan Maresca. I reside at 308 East Edgewood Avenue here in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. I do not attend these meetings. It's the first commissioner meeting I've attended, hopefully my last. It's very important. It's a severe issue regarding transparency. And I've copied you, Commissioner Kennedy, you, Commissioner Vogler, Mr. Sinato, you're aware. Mr. Vanasco, you were actually looped into a previous email correspondence with our county solicitor, Jason Midor, and assistant county solicitor, Emily Perotti. I have a problem with our election director, Tim Germani. And my problem is this. I file right to know requests with my local city government, and it's no secret. I'm sure everybody reads the papers. My focus is strictly city, my local municipality, not In my routine record observations, I had a positive dialogue and rapport with Mr. Germani up until June 22nd. May 12th, I asked him for Mayor Mark Olisco's SoFi Statement of Financial Interest from 2023. This is within the 5-year mark per state law that it should be retained and not purged. No problem whatsoever. He emailed me a PDF copy. All well and good. It got shared on social media. That is my fashion. I try to be transparent because I see many things are broken in my municipality and I try to get to the root of it. Why? After May 12th, and I'm not the only one this has occurred to, other residents, one of them being Justin Byers, and there's another one, a mayoral candidate currently, made a request for SoFis. For SoFis, statements of financial interest. And they're being roadblocked, including myself, with boilerplate right to know law, instead of being forthcoming with the documents. First of all, election law supersedes right to know law. I don't understand why he clammed up. And it comes off as he's running interference. I'm just saying it out loud for everybody to hear. I copied Mr. Vanasco as the county administrator. When I reached out to Jason Medor, the county solicitor, what's going on? He gave me a bureaucratic response, refer to right to know law. None. Fortunately, Ms. Perotti stepped in as county solicitor. I don't know if she was wearing the hat of the assistant district attorney that day or not, to supersede Jason Medor, who's our county solicitor, top dog. But I was able to obtain Mayor Mark Olisco's 2019. I also asked for his 2015 statement of financial interest. Per state law, in 5 years, you're not supposed to have it. And they told me that. But in the same sentence, come down and pick it up, the 2019. So when I picked up the document, and for the record, it showed that Mayor Mark Olisco lied on it. It's a pattern of abuse that I'm tracking personally. And the state is involved at this point as well. All right, the Office of the Attorney General. When I brought it up, how is it a mathematical impossibility that you can give me a document that is 7 years old, but you can't suddenly give me his 2015, 11-year-old document? You're being selective. And again, it's coming with that gatekeeping process. And I'm throwing that word out there, gatekeeping. I don't appreciate that. When I am thrown boilerplate case law to defend this, okay, well, again, it's election law. How are you able to give me a document that's so old here, but not here? Why are you playing interference? Another issue I brought up, and it was brought to my attention by party leadership, Republican Party leadership in the county, a candidate who is a perennial candidate, who somehow he's polling in the top 3. I'm not going to mention his name, but I've mentioned it in my emails to you guys, just out of respect to everybody at home. How he is polling in the top 3 in the last 3 election cycles, but for one of four city council seats, he yet somehow loses as soon as the mail-in ballots get tallied. Now, this is America, this is democracy. Votes get tallied. But when you have this man, Tim Germani, our election director, telling this candidate to his face, well, that seems strange. I don't know how you could not have won. Me, I'm a sheriff. I don't keep things to myself. I'm very loud and very vocal. This person is not so much. Reasons, I can't tell you why. But I shared it with you guys personally in an email. This is disturbing. I shouldn't have to come up against this kind of interference. I shouldn't have to be told and go through a very long chain of emails to get something so simple as a piece of paper. Nobody should. And if that's true, even regarding remotely true about the mail-in ballots, well, you shouldn't be making statements like that as the election director. You should be scrutinizing it. That's your job. I mean, I understand his job is ministerial when it comes to providing documents, but I could also make the argument, mostly everybody in this room, except for me, I'm a transplant from Florida, grew up here or lived here long enough. How do you not know a particular candidate hasn't served in office before for 12 years? How do you know he doesn't have an income? I mean, he worked for a school district for 30 years, yet you just blanketly sign off. It makes it sound as if it's in tandem, and I don't want to believe that, but that's how it comes on. It's bad. But that's all I want. I want to call on you guys, as you county commissioners, your responsibility is to oversee the election and voter services. I would strongly investigate this. Don't let this go. Party leadership is aware, our state representatives are aware, and the state is aware, because I did report this to the Office of the Attorney General. Thank you very much for your time and consideration, Dennis. I appreciate it.
Mr. Maresca, thank you. I want to particularly express our appreciation that you took the time to write to us through this email process. And you did give us, for lack of a better term, advance notification that you'd be here today. I appreciate that. You certainly weren't obligated to do that. So thank you for giving us this opportunity, not only to review what you have sent us in writing, but in addition, the comments that you've just made to us this morning. And what we will do is take both your comments now as well as the written documents and review them, discuss the matter with particularly our primary solicitor, Mr. Medor. Just to clarify a couple things, Attorney Sanchez Perotti, as you correctly noted, is the assistant or deputy county solicitor. One of the things we've given to her in terms of one of her responsibilities is to handle right to know requests. So she handles all of them that come in. The other thing, and I'm not going to hang on this technicality because that's all this is. Many of the matters that you talked about involve our voter services office, and you are correct. That is one of our departments that does report to this board. The technicality is it reports to us when we are considered the Board of Elections. Now, so today we're having a public meeting as the Board of Commissioners, and everything you did was appropriate. The technicality would have been I could have sat up here and said, well, we're not meeting today as the Board of Elections. You got to wait till the Board of Elections meet. We're not going to do that. We're not going to make you wait. That wouldn't be appropriate. But the county code is specific as it relates to giving the commissioners the responsibility and authority as the Board of Elections, which is somewhat separate from us being commissioners. And I might add, the county code, and I'm glad they've done it this way, we are the Board of Elections unless one or both or all three of us happen to be running in that particular calendar year. Then we are required to step off of the Board of Elections. That may happen next year if one or both of these gentlemen choose to run for re-election. I'm not. I'm retiring at the end of next year. I got a year and a half left. So as such, since I'm not going to be on the ballot next year, I'm permitted to continue to serve as a member of the Board of Elections. If Mr. Sonata and Mr. Kennedy, if they reach a point where they announce their intent to seek re-election, when that happens, they're required by law to no longer be on the Board of Elections. And then what happens, based on the law, is the president judge then will appoint two individuals who happen to be registered voters and residents of the county to serve as members of the Board of Elections until such time as these two gentlemen are no longer candidates. And it's even more specific. Mr. Sonata happens to be a registered Democrat. Mr. Kennedy is a registered Republican. So what the president judge would have to do in that case, one of the appointees will have to be a registered Democrat, and the other one will have to be a registered Republican to reflect the composition of the current board. So sorry to ramble on. I probably took more time telling you that than you did speaking to us. But I did want to give you a little bit of that background. So what we will do is, in consultation with our solicitor, we will once again review the documents that you were kind enough to send to us. We will take into account the remarks that you made today, and then you will get a response from us in writing. as soon as we're able to. I wish I could say it's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't think it's gonna happen tomorrow, but as soon as we're able to, we will provide you a response in writing. Let me see if either of my colleagues have anything they would wish to add. Thank you, Mr. Sonata.
No, but I just, thank you. I'll just echo what Commissioner Vogler said. We thank you for setting it. I did get a chance to review some of it. We appreciate that.
Now, as I noted earlier, Mr. Maresca, certainly you're welcome to stay for the whole meeting. Our agenda is fairly short today, and we will have another opportunity for public comment. You're welcome to speak again, if you so choose. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Are there other public comments at this time? And sir, you came in a little bit late. I noted that we're in the public comment period now, but before we adjourn, we will reopen for public comment. If you would wish to speak at that time, you're very welcome to. Not obligated to. If you're just here to listen, that's also fine. Thank you. Any other public comment? Thank you all. And sir, there are agendas over there if you'd like to help yourself to one. I think they're over there. Yep. Okay, that takes us to fiscal and contractual, and we do this at just about every meeting. During the course of the work week, we receive documents from the county controller's office. We list them as warrant registers. On the document, they're known as check reconciliation registers. What they are, they're a listing of all of the bills that have been paid by the controller's office. These two happen to be dated at July 2 and June 30. And they're here if anybody wishes to take a look at them. We generally accept these documents at this public meeting. So to Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Sonata, I'll give you whatever time you need to look them over. And whenever you've done that, I'd be happy to entertain a motion for us to accept these documents.
I've had an opportunity to look them over. Mr. Kennedy has as well. I will make a motion to accept the warrant registry.
And I'll second.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sonato?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carried.
Thank you. Also in our packet are the minutes of last Tuesday's meeting, June 30. Once again, Dan and Chris, please take whatever time you need to look them over. And once you've done that, I'd be happy to accept a motion for us to adopt the minutes.
I looked them over before we come down, and I'll make that motion.
I've seen them as well. I'll second the motion.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sonato?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Since we've last met, we've received two documents that we'd like to enter into the record under written communications. The first is from Frank B. Taylor Engineering, which is based here in Lawrence County. Nathaniel McIntyre has signed this document, and it was submitted to both the commissioners and the county planning department. It's giving us Act 14 notification, which is required by the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. It reads as follows. The purpose of this notice is to inform you of the intent of Mr. Justin Moses to submit a notice of intent for a new national pollutant discharge elimination system general permit for discharges from small flow treatment facilities and a notice of intent for a new water quality management general permit for small flow treatment facilities to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. This is for the following. The location is 189 Lakeside Drive in Neshannock Township. Project description is a single residence sewage treatment plant to replace the malfunctioning septic system serving the existing home on the property at 189 Lakeside Drive, Neshannock Township. These documents we get quite frequently. The law requires that we be notified of them. We have no regulatory authority over this process. As the letter indicates, this is primarily between Mr. Moses, his engineer, and the Department of Environmental Protection. But we are required to be notified. If I'm not mistaken, I would assume, and Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, more than likely a similar letter was sent to Neshannock Township, I would assume. That's our first document. The second document, final document, comes from Gibson Thomas Engineering based out of Latrobe. And it reads as follows. By the way, it's signed by Dominic Garafola, engineers representative. The purpose of this notice is to inform you that the United Pickle Products Corporation intends to submit a national pollutant discharge elimination system permit application to the Department of Environmental Protection, excuse me, for the following project: an industrial wastewater treatment plant installation at their facility in Scott Township. The recommended plan proposes the retrofitting of an existing plant to serve as a facility to manufacture pickles and like products. Discharge of effluent from the plant will fall to an unnamed tributary to the Slippery Rock Creek in watershed 20-C in accordance with effluent limitations, monitoring requirements, and other conditions set forth by the Pennsylvania DEP. It goes on to note that written notices must be received by the municipality and the county at least 30 days before DEP may issue or deny the permit. Dan, any questions or concerns? Chris? Would one of you wish to make a motion for us to accept these two documents and enter them into the record?
I'll make the motion, to accept the documents.
And I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. If there's no other discussion, we'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sonato?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carried.
Thank you. Takes us to commissioner reports and comments. So we set aside time at each meeting if any of us have anything we wish to talk about or announce or report. And let's see, Mr. Kennedy, you're first today.
I'll just go over a couple of things over the weekend. I was at Wilmington on Friday night and Elwood Arts Festival on Sunday. So we made a trip around the county a little bit. Everything seemed good. The whole weekend went good in the county. So good weekend. I know Chris was a few other places, but I had family commitments to attend to. So
Both ends of the county, north and south.
yeah,
Good. Anything else?
that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Sonata.
I'll just have express with Commissioner Kennedy said I had the opportunity Friday night to work the booth down at Elwood City Arts Festival. I had an opportunity to spend time with Zach. How can I pronounce his last name? It's Brandis. Zach Brandis. And he's actually been there for 44 years. He's one of the original founders, involved with the organization. He's still going strong. I had an opportunity to talk to him, work with him. Two people. It was hot. It was 96 degrees, but it was nice to see some people out. And, in between the rain and everything else we had over the weekend, it made it a little more difficult to do some of those activities. But the Elwood Festival, I think, is something that's important in the community. It's for arts. It's everything. And, people from all over the county came down. That's what was nice, a chance to see everybody. That's pretty much all I have for today. I know that we've got another event with the hospital. I'll let you talk about that.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Chris. I'm up. Well, all three of us actually spent time at the Elwood Festival. My turn was on Saturday afternoon. We each helped at the information booth. We volunteered some of our time to assist people at the information booth. I was there Saturday afternoon. They had a nice crowd. I got there at 1. By about 3 o'clock, unfortunately, the thunderstorm started and people tended to head to their cars. But it is always a very, very nice event that they have down in the borough of Elwood City. So we appreciate that they asked us to help them out a little bit. I do want to note, and I'll mention this when we get to our announcements as well, because it's not listed on the announcements, but I appreciate that the Newcastle News did write an article in today's paper. The Lawrence County Planning Commission was scheduled to hold their regular monthly meeting tomorrow. And they had one agenda item for consideration, and the applicant last week requested a delay in the review of that proposal. So accordingly, there was no, since that matter was withdrawn from the agenda, there were no other agenda items upon which the commission would need to vote. So the decision was made by the planning office to cancel tomorrow's planning commission meeting. More than likely, a month from now, it would be the second Wednesday in August. Planning commissions, as of now, will be meeting at the Plain Grove Township Municipal Building at noon, and that's open to the public. But I appreciate the Newcastle News writing the fact that that meeting tomorrow has been canceled. And then Mr. Sanada referenced, we've been invited at 11:30, UPMC Jameson up on the North Hill is having a ceremony. You'll both have to help me. I think they have a new piece of equipment that's MRI. There was a second piece. I can't remember what that second.
CAT scan.
Does that sound right? So they're unveiling these new, probably very expensive pieces of tech. $7 million. It's expensive. So we'll be heading up to Jameson. We appreciate that they invited us. I'm going to make a quick editorial comment. I appreciate so much that when UPMC took over the Jameson, they kept that name. I've always been grateful that they didn't eliminate the word Jameson, because there was a gentleman named David Jameson back in the 1920s who donated a lot of money for the formation of that hospital. So I've always respected the fact that they kept the name. So thank you for allowing me to editorialize. New business. Amy McKinney, our planning director, is with us, and she has a proposal that ties in with the Newcastle Public Library, and one of the board members from the library, Mr. Joseph Ambrosini, is also with us. Could you swap? Oh, there are two chairs. Would you folks mind coming up front, please? And while they're doing that, Ryan, what number do we give this?
This is number 148.
148, thank you. This is proposed resolution 148. And the library is looking towards upgrading their existing heating and cooling system. And this involves a grant, which apparently and I'll let you folks explain, but the grant necessitates the county playing a role, if I'm not mistaken. So let me turn it over to the two of you, and you can give us all the background, if you would, please.
Yeah, the county is the actual applicant. We receive the fund, but it'll be a pass-through grant to the Newcastle Library. So since the contract is between the county and the state, we need to follow county procurement procedures, which require us to pass a resolution, advertise, and for the bids to be open in a public setting, which is stated in the resolution. It's set to be open on Tuesday, August 4th.
And if I'm reading the resolution correctly, the state department with whom we would be dealing would be the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development, specifically their Keystone Grant Program. And as you noted, the intent is to advertise for bids on July 14, and bids being due on August 4, and the county controller will come in and open
Yes.
those bids.
Yep.
Thank you. Mr. Ambrosini, we're always pleased to have you join us.
I appreciate it.
Do
Thank
you have more to add?
No, the only thing I will say is, I'm going to take this opportunity to thank all of you for all the support for the Newcastle Public Library, as well as the county library board, the federated system. So money's not running rampant at the library, so all the help and assist that you give to us is very much appreciated. Amy, I want to thank you for putting this all together, because I would have been totally lost. But I think everything was said that needed to be said. It is a bid process that we're going to go out for a chiller and a heating rooftop replacement. If you haven't heard, last week we had to close for 2 or 3 days. This week's another story, so it's because of we don't have the proper cooling in the library right now. So this went together rather quickly, and like I said, I know Amy worked with our architect and engineering firm, and it This is why we're here today, so thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome, and for the benefit maybe of the folks watching, or perhaps for some of the folks in the room, Pennsylvania law permits counties to levy, as part of the property tax, a dedicated tax towards public libraries within the county. And there's a gentleman in the room who was instrumental in that back in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken, former Commissioner Brian Burek. It was under your term and two of your colleagues that library tax was implemented. And it's collected as part of the property tax statements that go out by the treasurer's office. It is then divided amongst the 3 libraries that are located in the county. The Newcastle Public Library, which is in downtown Newcastle. The Public Library in the borough of Elwood City on Lawrence Avenue. And the F.D. Campbell Memorial Library on the Bessemer Hillsville Road in North Beaver Township. So each year we're able to make an allocation to those 3 very important organizations in our county. So, and we're happy to, I'm sure I speak for Chris and Dan to say we're very happy to help you in this process. Let me see if Mr. Sonata has questions.
No, Joe, the funding's all there for the system.
Yeah, we're actually in the process right now, looking at a couple different options for the matching fund part of the grant. The original grant is for $400,000, and we have to match it with $400,000, but we have 2 or 3 irons in the fire right now. One of those options are gonna work. Yeah, so the funding is in place.
So hopefully we'll be able to get this done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They've been doing some improvements down there. We have been doing some improvements, and it looks nice. It's made a difference.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Mr. Kennedy. Thank you. I had a question, but it popped out of my head. So I think we've covered everything. If it comes back to me, I'll track you down, but I can't remember what it was now. This resolution will allow this process to move forward. It's resolution 148. Oh, I know what my question was. Excuse me. The match that you're obligated to provide, is it a dollar for dollar match, or can in-kind services be utilized?
Dollar for dollar.
It is dollar
Yeah.
for dollar. Okay, so, okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, if there are no other questions, could I have a motion for proposed resolution 148?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, gentlemen. If there are no other concerns, we'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sonato?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Joe and Amy, thank you both. You're welcome to stay. We don't have much more to do. We're almost done. You're welcome to stay, but if you have to move along, we understand. Thank you both. And speaking of moving along, we'll go down to the next item on the agenda, which is a transfer request. The Public Defender's Office is asking for a $1,400 budget transfer from within that office's budget, coming from their contingency going into their line item of maintenance and repairs. That's the only transfer request we have. Dan, any concerns? Thank you. Mr. Sonata?
None.
Would one of you wish to make a motion to approve this request?
I'll make a motion to approve the request.
And I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Sonato?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Couple of announcements before we go to public comment. This Board of Commissioners will meet 1 week from today, Tuesday, July 14 at 10 o'clock in this room, open to the public. The following day, Wednesday, July 15, the County Prison Board will hold its monthly public meeting at, oh, there's a mistake on the agenda. It says 10 a.m. That should read noon. The prison board meeting is at noon. For the benefit of people watching, state law stipulates that a county that has a jail, there are a couple of counties, very small counties, that don't have a jail. They share space with a neighboring county, but those counties that have a jail are required to have a prison board that oversees the operation of the jail. But it's not just the 3 commissioners. There's a bit of a misconception that it's only the 3 commissioners. We're actually a part of a 7-member board based on state law that consists of the president judge, the district attorney, the county controller, the sheriff, and the 3 of us. 7 of us comprise the prison board. And that board meets 1 week from tomorrow, July 15 at noon in this room, open to the public. And as we noted earlier, tomorrow's County Planning Commission meeting that was scheduled at noon has been canceled. That takes us to public comment. I'll open the floor if anyone wishes to speak at this time. Yes, sir. Could you state your name for the record?
My name is Kelly Smith, resident of Pulaski Township.
Yes, sir.
911 center on the storms coming through. Our sirens do not go off or activated until the storm is in Wilmington. Okay, because Harrisburg does not send out anything until it's already into PA. Where on the other hand, Youngstown's already saying it's coming in and our sirens aren't activated. This last storm was a big catastrophe, and we all know the southern part of our county got hit and elsewhere. I suggest, being a former LEOC employee, some rules and some changes be made in the storm and the weather prediction. They should not have to mandate only Harrisburg because they wait until it comes into PA. They should mandate what's coming through Youngstown to protect our citizens and save lives. The earlier the notice, the more lives you're going to save in a storm like that. So that's my question.
Well, and I thank you, Mr. Smith. I actually have to ask you a question because I have to plead some ignorance. First of all, have you had a chance at all to discuss your concern with Mr. Strobel, our public safety director?
We've had multiple conversations.
Okay,
And
I'm glad
they're like, you guys are in charge. They're a regular, because he's following the protocol of Pennsylvania,
yes.
but our residents are our main concern. When our signs blow, and I know Mr. Kennedy can vouch for it, the storm's in Wilmington.
Yep.
I'm also a Pulaski Township supervisor,
Yes, sir.
so I deal with our people like having their signs been blowing and
That being said, I'm guessing that the agency on the state level, more than likely, is the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency, PEMA.
Mhm, correct.
And we can do this, but I have to ask you, if you've had any opportunity, since that's a state agency, have you had
I
conversations
have
with
not.
either Representative Brown
Yes,
or
yes.
Senator Brooks?
Mother's also working on another issue with our lacking ambulance services in the county, where we have 8 units sitting on the line. And they're sitting right there on the Quatesville line,
Yep.
right at TikTok.
Yep.
They can't cross that line.
Yep.
It's something the county should look at. You all know we have a limited ambulance service.
Right.
And our residents pay the most when they bring a union out of Elwood City to Pulaski Township. That is ridiculous. And it's been going on for years.
And my recollection of state law is that, of course, the ambulance companies you're referring to are all privately owned. But I'm glad to hear you've talked with Representative Brown about
Yes.
this, because obviously at the state level, she has a good deal more authority to interact with PEMA than we do. And, so I'm glad you've spoken with her.
Yeah, I wanted to bring it up to you folks too, because it needs to be an eye opener for the county, because when you lose a life due to either the storm or
Yep.
lack of EMS, it's tough to swallow when it's in your township or municipality.
And it just seems like common sense. If there's a big storm happening in eastern Ohio, you'd think that we'd have something set up, some mutual agreement between Pennsylvania and Ohio, whereby Ohio would then notify Pennsylvania. And so we bump into Representative Brown quite often. We'll discuss it with her. If we see Senator Brooks, we'll do likewise.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thanks for taking the time to join us.
You're welcome.
Dan, any comments on Mr. Smith's?
The only time I see him is out tarring chickens, so I haven't seen him. We used to share responsibilities between them and Pulaski. So we had a lot of fun doing that.
Yes,
Our
sir.
township was working together.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Mr. Sanada.
Kelly, we appreciate you bringing that. Thank you. Change the channel. So I know what you're talking about.
Bless you.
They're not easy solutions, but they have, it has to be dealt with. As Chairman Vogler suggests, this is really a Harrisburg thing. They really need to work out an agreement between Pennsylvania and Ohio, because it doesn't end at the border. Yeah, I mean, that storm hits, and it's interesting you say this, and back in the day, because unfortunately, our cable company no longer carries the Ohio TV stations, okay? And especially out where you are, Mahoney, Pulaski, they always relied on, they used to watch Youngstown. Okay? A lot of people in Newcastle used to watch Youngstown because it was closer. I went to school in YSU, so I understand. And they took that off the cable system. I think it really hurt us somewhat just because they get their weather out of Youngstown, a lot of people. And they're able to see it, but now without that being on cable, it makes it more difficult for people to actually follow that. But I know you do because you're a supervisor, the average person doesn't. So your comments are appreciated. As Chairman Vogler says, we'll pass that on as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Other public comments at this time? Hearing none. Closing comments from my fellow commissioners. I'll start with Mr. Sanada. Thank you, sir. Mr. Kennedy. Ladies, Joe, anything we maybe overlooked or forgotten?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. When we do adjourn, you'll notice Joe will go over and turn off the computer, so it'll still be live streaming for a little bit, just to make you aware. May I please have an adjournment motion?
I'll make that one.
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign, motion carried. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Kat, can I see you a second? That off?
Hey, Deb.
Is your summer going fast?
I'll do something like